Hello, hope I'm audible. So, welcome to the chemistry classes with my name is Tanmay. I'm a Prime Minister Research Fellow in the Department of Chemistry, IIT Kanpur. Okay. So, as a part of my fellowship, I need to complete classes for school and college level. So in this channel or in this series, I will talk about some basic chemistry and some exercise, theory and mathematics required for the chemistry. Okay. So in today's lecture, I will be talking about the mathematics required for chemistry. Okay. And as a part of it, the main thing I will discuss today is how to draw a plot. Because in chemistry, you will invariably come across with some equation, and you need to be asked how it varies on the other, like how one of the parameter varies with the other. Okay, so the best way to understand it is always draw the plot of dependency. Okay, so that is what how one can draw it is my subject for today. Okay. And in this lecture, I will be mainly talking in English, but sometimes I can use Hindi. Okay. So after uploading the video, if you guys have any doubt, so then you can comment it on or write it to me. My email ID will be shared in the channel itself. So you can always like connect with me and ask if you have any doubt, and I can if I can answer it. So I'll obviously write it to you or come up with the solution in the next video. Okay. So what I am trying to tell today is like as I told, mathematics is very required for chemistry and mainly for the physical chemistry. Okay? So and then the importance of plot is very like to have a prior knowledge of how to draw a plot, how to like how one function depends upon other pictorially. If you can represent it, it will be very beneficial for understanding. Okay, so that is what is my and I call this lecture as play with graphs. This is a famous book also. You can find it like, in bookstore, maybe online or offline. So I will be mainly following this book as well. So before going to this, you need to know what is function, because function is nothing but function is nothing but a rule. Okay, a rule by which one can tell, like one can determine, by which one can let me write determine the value of a dependent variable for a particular value of independent. So let me explain it. So what is function? It's a rule, or you can say it is something which will give you a set of value for a set of particular variable. What is variable? That means that is actually varying with something. So let's say uh, y is equals x, for example. So this is a function. Okay, this total thing is a function. So for each value of each value of x will be definitely having one value of y. Okay. So that means the value of y are determined by the value of x. So y is not the independent thing. Y is actually always dependent on x. Whatever be the x is, that will be your y. So that means this x is not dependent upon anyone. That's why it is called as independent variable, and this y, it is dependent upon x. That's why it is called a dependent variable. Okay. Now the question is how you can draw this, or how you can pictorially represent this function. So this is a function, nothing but a function. So how you can pictorially represent this function? Okay, this is the question. So to do this, you can take several approaches. I will be discussing some. Let's say first one, approach one. Okay, from a, like if you are a school student. Okay, so you can just write x and y. So for each and every set, let's say your x is -2. So what will be your y? It will be -2. Let's say this is -1. This will be -1. Let's say this is 0. So this will be 0. Let's say this is +1. Let's say this is +2. So it will be so on and so forth. Okay. Now you know if you use a graph, like graph paper, where this kind of equi-spaced lines are there. Pardon my drawing, obviously, because these are not equi-spaced, this is not straight. But if you just assume that these are just a straight line, so then just think this line as your origin. Okay, that means this point is your 0, 0. This is a Cartesian coordinate, and this is 0, 0. So what will be your -2? That means -1, -2, -2. So this is your x is equals -2. That means y is equals -2. So this will be your one of your point, right? Whenever this is -1, that means this will be one of your point. It is 0, 0 means obviously this point, and similarly this one is +1. This is +2. That means this one is 1, 1. So this one is another point. And this one is 2, 2. This one is another point. And if you just connect all the dots, so it will be a straight line. So y is equals ax looks like a straight line. But from the discussion, you can clearly see just to draw a y is equals x. It's the simplest possible function. You need to do so many things. Okay, so this should not be the easiest approach, or this should not be the this should not even be the approach to plot anything. This is very basic. So you can any plot you can it can be done by this, but it is at the same time very hectic because this is y is equals such simple. That's why you can write it like in this manner. But if it is a very difficult kind of, like there are many things up here, so that time it will not be such easy. So it will take much more of your time. So this would not be the approach. So let me go to the second approach. What it can be? So what is the second approach? Let's say this is your axis. You just think of 2 points. Whenever your x is 0, sorry, your y will obviously be 0. And whenever your x is 1, y is equals to 1. Okay. Assume like, so then just join these 2 points because this is a straight line, and 2 point, by using 2 point you can draw any straight line. Okay. So this one just to like you just thought of imaginary points wherever it will be, and you can just connect it. So this can be another approach. But let me go through go to the third approach. Let's say you beforehandedly know that y is equals mx plus c is the equation for straight line. Okay. So you just try to fit this equation into this. That means m is equals 1 and c is equals 0. If it is the case, then obviously this one is just a form of this equation. That means if this is a general equation, for statement नहीं लिख रहा हूँ पूरा पूरा, just giving some shorthand annotations. Okay, so general equation for straight line, then that means this will obviously be a straight line, right? Now if you know what is A and what is C, then you can just draw it. Okay, so let me go to that, how you can draw this. Okay, right, let's say so not let's say, like this is the equation for straight line. So what I said, y is equals mx plus c. This is the y. So y is the dependent variable, x is the independent variable, and this looks like a straight line. Okay, if this is the, like, if you know, this is an equation of straight line where m is nothing but the slope. Okay, what does that mean? Slope means the angle. So whatever be your, let's say, whatever be the line or curve it is, the angle it is making with the positive x-axis, right? So angle it is making with positive x-axis is called m, and mathematically denoted by tan theta. If theta is the angle, okay, m is equals tan theta. That is the slope. And what is c? C is nothing but the intercept, मतलब जहां पे वो काट रहा है, कौन से एक्सिस को? y एक्सिस. y एक्सिस को जहां पे काट रहा है, दैट इज द इंटरसेप्ट. एंड x एक्सिस, पॉजिटिव x एक्सिस के साथ जो एंगल बना रहा है, दैट इज द स्लोप. So let's just give one example. Let's say this one is one line which follows y is equals mx plus c. So that means if you just extrapolate this, obviously this will cut x-axis into this. This will be a one for theta, and you can call this one. You call one theta 1, and you call this one theta 2. So what will be the angle for your slope? It will be the positive, like angle making with the positive x-axis. This side is the x, so positive x, and this side is the negative x. That means this angle, because if you just draw a parallel line, so this angle will obviously be similar with this. So the angle it is making with the positive x-axis is nothing but the slope, not this, because it is not making with this. This is making with the negative x-axis. Okay, so that is what I am trying to tell. And the other thing, that is intercept. Intercept, what I said, it is the point where it is cutting the positive y-axis. So that means not the positive, like the y-axis. So this means this is the C, not up to this, like this to this. This value is okay. Now let's just try to put y is equals x as y is equals mx plus c. So comparing it with y is equals mx plus c, you know that m is equal to nothing but 1, c is equal to nothing but 0. That means if this is your coordinate, let's say this is the, this would be the line, right? Why? Because c is 0, that means it is cutting the y-axis at 0, and theta is, let's see, theta is 1. Okay, that means tan theta is 1, sorry. That means tan theta is 1. That means it is tan 45 degree. That means theta is equals to 45 degree. Or you can sorry, pi by 4, right? Pardon me for this. Okay. So let me just erase this. Take the problem. Okay. So that means this angle will be theta is equals half. This is 45. Okay. So you can put, like, you can draw any line, like any straight line comparing this. Let's say one of the equation is, let's say y is equals 4x. So y is equals 2x. Let's say another simple one. So how it will look like? Obviously, you know this will be straight line. How? Just nothing. Just compare it with y is equals mx plus c. Okay. So that means what is m? M is nothing but 2, right? And what is c? It will be 0, because you can write it like 0. 2x plus 0. So your m, that means tan theta is equals 2. So what will be theta? Just try to do it. What will be theta? Theta will be 63. Okay. So how it will look like? If this is your 1, like y is equals x, obviously the angle is bit more. So this will be y is equals to x, right? Because it will not having any intercept, so it will start from the 0 point, but the angle will be a bit more than the y is equals x, right? Similarly, if we think y is equals half x, how it will look like, right? Because that time the angle will be smaller than 45, and you can just go by what is the value of tan. If that tan theta is equals to or half or 4, that time you can calculate what is theta, right? So from that you can know what will be your, like, how your straight line you can write. Okay, let me give one more example, like where y is equals minus x. How it will be like y is equals minus x. Nothing, just compare, as I like told you, just compare it with the possible equation you know. Okay, so if you compare these two, what you will get? A is equal nothing but minus 1, right? How you can write it? A y is equals minus 1x plus 0, right? So a will be minus 1 and c will be 0. So again, if you draw, right? So how it will look like? Why it will be in that side? Because now the what I said about slope, the angle with positive x-axis, right? Now tan 45 degree is 1, but just pi minus 45 and pi minus 45 is minus 1, right? So it will be how much? It will not be 45, it will be 135, right? This one. So it will be in the negative, like the code, the second coordinate, because this one is the first coordinate, this one second, and 4, right? So this will be the negative coordinate. but it will be it will just be like the mirror image of each other. These two, x is equals this one is this one is your x is equals 1, and this one is x is equals minus 1. So these two will be mirror image to each other, right? With respect to the y-axis, right? And if you extrapolate as well, so it will be exactly mirror image in the other coordinate as well. So just let me give you one more trivia. That is, let's say two straight lines. Sum is y is equals m1x plus c1 and y is equals m2x c2. Okay, these two are straight line, obviously. These two are straight line. Now, if m1 and m2 is equals minus 1, right? Note it down. If m1 into m2 is minus 1, then these two lines will be perpendicular to normally denote perpendicular as this. I normally denote perpendicular to each other, right? Let's see if it is or not. Like y is equals x and y is equals minus x, right? So what is m1 here is 1 and m2 is minus 1. That means m1 into m2 will obviously minus 1. In case of y is equals 2x and y is equals minus half x. That time also m1 into m2 will be minus 1. Similarly, anything you can think of like that. So both these and these lines, will obviously be perpendicular, right? And you can draw it and like think about it as well. The y is equals x will look like this, minus x will look like this. So this angle between these two, you can identify how? Because this one, the from the slope I told you, the slope is nothing but this angle, right? With the positive x-axis. This angle is 45. And you know this one is 90. So that means this angle, just this angle is obviously 45 because the total angle in one quadrant will be 90. That means now for x minus 1, obviously this angle x minus 1, this angle will be how much? 180 minus 45. That means 180 minus 45 means how much? 135, right? So this one is 135 up to this. How much this will be? This will be again 45. So what will be this angle? This is 45. This is 45. This is 45. This is 45. Then 90. So just minus it means 135 minus 90. That means again 45. So only this angle will be again 45. So this one is 45. This one is 45. That means the angle between these two lines are obviously 90 degrees, right? I think you understood this. And you can similarly draw this also. So if we draw like three lines in the same coordinate, all right? So this is your coordinate. So let's say this is your x is equals 1. So this is your x is equals 1. Now let's say this is your, then this is your x is equals. This is your x is equals minus 1. This is minus 1, right? Now this, if this is your x is equals 1, how the x is equals 2, sorry, y, sorry, not x, sorry, not x. The function is always written with y. Y is equals minus x, y is equals plus x. This is y is equals plus x, this is y is equals minus x, right? Now my question is, how y is equals 2x minus 2x minus half x plus half x will look into in this same plot, how it will look. So if this is y is equals x, obviously y is equals 2x will look like angle slightly greater than this, right? This will be y is equals 2x, and obviously this will be y is equals minus 2x, right? And how the half x will look like? This will be the y is equals half x, right? Half x. So this will be y is equals, sorry, this will be y is equals half x. This will be y is equals 2x, right? So it will look like kind of this. Now one more type of equation that is straight line is denoted by is x by a plus y by b is equals 1. If this is the form, that means this is also a straight line. And what is the advantage of this plot? Whenever you can write a equation into this, that time it will denote a straight line. At the same time, this a will be intercept of x-axis, right? And b will be intercept of y-axis, right? Now let's say y is equals x. If you can write it like this, y is equals x. That means you can write it like x minus y is equals 0. Okay. That time there is no one. But what is the, if you write it like this, x by plus 1 plus y by minus 1 is equals 0, right? So it will intercept at plus 1. But the thing is, you cannot write whenever it is 0. You can only write straight line into this form whenever it is having some value, so that you can make it 1. You need to make it 1, but you cannot make 0 into 1, right? If it is, let's say y is equals 2x plus 3, okay, so this cannot be, because this has no intercept, because it is always going to 0. But let's say this equation, okay, that means 2x minus y is equals minus 3, right? If you divide this, if you divide this with, if you divide this with 3, minus 3, because you need to make this 1. So x by minus 3 by 2, it will be minus y by minus 3, right, is equals 1. Okay, so that means x by minus 3 by 2 plus y by 3 is equals 1. This will be the final form. That means if you draw one equation, if you draw one plot, so that it will cut y at 3, right? So 1, 2, 3, and x at minus 3 by 2. Minus 3 by 2 means minus 1.5, right? So if it is 1 and if it is 2, so it will cut in between this kind of, right? So your equation will look like somewhat like this, right? So what I said, that is y is equals 2x plus 3, right? It will look like this. Now let's draw this from the approach y is equals mx plus c, right? What is the, okay, before going to this, you just see what is the value of intercept, that is 3, because 1, 2 and 3, okay, right? And the angle will be obviously tan theta something. Let's see, let's draw this by this approach. What I told, y is equals 2x plus 3, right? So comparing this with y is equals to mx plus c, you can get m is equals to 2 is equals tan theta. It will be 63 around, right? And c is equals to 3. So if you just draw this from whatever you have learned already, I was saying, pardon me for my bad writing. So it will intersect at 3, right? And both that it will make 63 degree kind of. So this will be your line, y is equals 2x plus 3. So if you intercept, if you just extrapolate it, it will cut y-axis, sorry, x-axis in 1.5 point only. Whatever you have got from this, right? It is similar line. So you can use any approach to go there. You just need to know the equation before. Okay. Now this will be the last topic for this discussion. So this is nothing but pair of straight line, right? What is pair of straight line? Let's say your equation is x square is equals to 4, right? That means x will be plus minus 2. So one is x is equals to, one is x is equals minus 2, right? Right? So what is x? X is equals to, that means 1, 2. This will be your x is equals to, this will be your x is equals minus 2. This is the axis, right? So this equation denoted to this pair of straight line, right? Let's say this one of the equation is x square minus y square is equals to 0. So you can do this. Okay, so one y will be minus x. From this we will get y is equals minus x, and from this we will get y is equals x. So again, if you draw this, right? If you draw this respect to this axis, so you will get one this using y is equals x, and we will get y is equals minus x. So this is a pair of straight line. Okay. So I want to make this video very short, because this is an introductory session, and in this lecture we got some idea of how a straight line will look like, right? So in the next class we'll go into more detail of how the straight lines will be, some difficult equation will be, and the most like attractive part will be on the next lecture. We'll find various chemical equation, okay, various chemical equation which will follow like straight line, and try to draw them. One, I am giving a very short example of one such. You know that Boyle's law tells us V varies 1 by P. So you can write V is equals K by P, right? Now, if we plot V versus 1 by P, right? So here your, sorry, so here your Y is V and your X is 1 by P. So if you want to draw that, V versus 1 by P, it will nothing but straight line with intercept 0 and slope K. So it will be like this, right? The slope will be 1, sorry, K, and intercept will be 0. So this plot is wrong, right? It should look like this. So if you know the how a straight line will look like, so you'll never blunder. You'll never do this kind of mistake. It is very important to know the mathematics. That is where this course will come. Okay. So okay, let's end it here. We'll come into the next discussion, and I will try to keep as many videos as fast as possible. Okay. So okay, thank you everyone, and let's end it here. Right. Thank you.